Hi guys, it's Ali from Wing Reviews on Bookish Days, and yes, I am in bed, yes, I am in pyjamas, and yes, I am in my dressing gown. It's freezing, and it's early morning, and it's actually been snowing, so no, I'm not getting out of bed to film, I'm going to film right here. So, this week we are talking about scary things, and it's not my favourite subject because I'm a bit of a wuss and I don't watch scary films or anything because they give me nightmares. But I did read one scary book, and I do have one sort of scary story from where I live, and I do have one scary experience. So I'm going to share all three of those today. So the first thing is the scary book that I read, and yes, you might laugh that I was scared of this book, but this book scared the you-know-what out of me. It's so creepy. It's about Jack the Ripper, and that's creepy enough already, but to make matters worse, it's kind of a modern day, not retelling, but somebody is recreating the Jack the Ripper murders in London, and they're creating them in the exact same way of the originals, and these victims are dying in the exact same way, and on the exact same days, and roughly the same area. And to make matters worse, the potential culprit is a ghost. And so, oh god, there's a scene where they find this CCTV footage, like this security camera footage of one of the murders happening, and the victim is just being dragged around by nothing and being pulled apart, insides torn out and everything by nothing. And I was reading it and I was like, whoa, no, it's too late to be reading things like that. I'm not reading that till it's morning and it's nice and bright. So yeah, this book really did freak me out, but it is a dead good book, so I would recommend it. Right, I know RJ told some really cool, scary legends from where he lives, and there are a lot from where I live if you count my whole country, but I don't know, I don't like looking them up or even researching them because it scares me. So I'm just going to stick to one that I do know a little bit about, and it is the legend of the monk of the Stocksbridge bypass. And you can actually Google this, it's on Wikipedia. The Stocksbridge bypass is about 3 miles from my house, and it was built in the 1980s. And it is thought that when it was being built, and there was a bridge built over it as well, connecting two villages on either side, it's thought that when it was built, they disturbed this monk that was buried up there or something like that. And ever since then, there have been so many sightings of this monk. And the first sightings were the construction workers building the bypass, seeing this, what they thought was a man without feet. Because he sort of floats along the forest floor and he has a hood, and they say the first thing they notice is a musty smell before he comes, kind of like an old churchy smell. And it happened so much that the police even got involved because they thought it was somebody messing about. And there's actually a documentary about what happened when the two police officers at the time in the 80s arrived at the bypass and looked for him, because it's quite famous what happened to them, and the reason people believe it is because it was two police officers that it happened to rather than just people seeking glory, you know. And so these police officers apparently searched the forest for what they thought was some sort of prankster messing about, couldn't find anything, got back in their car. As soon as they shut their car doors, the monk appeared in front of their car. He was just stood there, and he floated straight through the car. And these police officers were so traumatized they had to have time off work and stuff like that. And I think I might have just died on the spot if that was me. Oh. But yeah, since then there's been loads of sightings of this monk, particularly on the bridge that they built over the bypass. And the other thing that really freaks me out about this is the Stocksbridge bypass is actually classed as one of the most dangerous roads in Britain, because of the amount of fatalities on there and car crashes. And some of the people who have survived car crashes, as I say, this is what creeps me out the most, have said that the reason they crashed was because a man appeared in their car, sat next to them on the passenger seat with a hood. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but yeah, that would be enough to make me crash too. I'd probably die before I even crashed. I'd die of fright. That's just unthinkable. But there's so many people that said that you kind of think, well, why would they make that up? You know, they've crashed. They're given the reason, and that's their reason. So yeah, I really don't like. If I drive on there, I look straight forward. I do not look left or right. And when I go under the bridge, I don't look on the bridge, because lots of people say they see him just stood on the bridge. Oh, so creepy. So that's my kind of local ghost story. As I say, you can look that up. Stocksbridge Bypass Monk. The name of the road is the actual number of the road is A616. It is all over the internet. And lastly, my own ghost story. And I debated about whether I should tell you this because I get so freaked out myself, but I'm trying to get in the spirit. I really am. You know, so I'm just going to briefly explain what happened to me. I was in bed. I was in this bed, in this room, about 3 years ago. And I was sat reading my book. And my boyfriend was sat next to me, reading his book, like we do at night. And it was about 10 o'clock. I was not sleepy. I was not asleep, therefore I was not seeing things, as John keeps telling me, my boyfriend. And I turned round and I said to him, "Shall we go to sleep yet?" And he was still reading, and he didn't look at me. He must have been finishing his sentence or something. But, oh god, I can't even say it. But from the other side of him, a person leaned forward and looked at me. After I said, "Shall we go to sleep yet?" As if they were sat on the other side of John. And I freaked out big time. I couldn't properly see their facial features. It was the outline of a person. It was a head and a body, and it was just the innocent way that this person sort of went and looked at me, and oh god, it was awful. But now I've told you, and I'm not going to go any further into it because I didn't sleep all night. I actually screamed and obviously made John jump out of his skin. Thankfully, oh god, fingers crossed, nothing like that has ever happened since in here. Please. So that's the end of my attempted scary video. I hope you all have a great Halloween, and I will see you next week, hopefully with happier stories. Bye.